Keaton and Jethro race towards Ghost Town in a stolen dune buggy spray painted in white bad graffiti by the gang of Mad Dog, kicking up red dust as they fly across Noonside. As the two of them get closer to Ghost Town, large black plumes of rising volcanic smoke dominate the skyline. Crackling lightning runs through it, blue twisting with the black, and through it you can see this dim, now deep, deep red haze coming through this rising wall of smoke. The storm that was on the horizon is still lumbering back there as well. These two behemoths of creation in a pissing contest to see who can put more dust into the air. As you approach Ghost Town, we see the two of you stop on a ridge line. This red mesa, this cracked cliff falling off from years of wind erosion. Boulders littered like someone sprinkling salt crystals. A bright red seasoning on the dusty brown ground. As you come closer, inside of this vehicle, the computer springs to life with coordinates, the GPS coordinates that you got, Keaton, around the back side of Ghost Town. The front side of Ghost Town is not a place you want to enter. Jethro, you know this well from all the research you've done, but since you have this information, I think we see you following those coordinates around the backside, ignoring the entrance. It takes about 5 minutes to drive over the dusty ground around back, kicking up a long trail of dust as you go. No other vehicles on the horizon, a desolate, dead wasteland. As you pull up on a ridgeline around the backside, you wait for a moment, not sure what the coordinates you're looking at are supposed to give you. They just look closer to the mountain that you are. So you start to drive down this ridgeline, building up speed, and then sailing towards this like kind of just hillside. You know, one of these mesas come out of the dirt. And as you approach, you see two sections of this cracked hill start to rumble and then move outwards, and you can tell some sort of rock facade has been made over two steel doors that start to move on large hydraulically lifted hinges that open into these bored tunnels into this hillside. Yeah, you take the right one. You got a preference?
I'm just following this, whatever coordinates I've got.
Did you like spray paint your suits or something? Or are you just going in like you are?
Did the scabs have spray paint with them?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, then yeah. I don't give a shit about the suit. I definitely spray painted it. Probably tried to bully Jethro into spray painting his as well.
I mean, I wouldn't have to be convinced really. If that's what their suits look like, my suit's not worth shit. So why not?
Yeah, you remember that this was their first mission they were set out on. So I think it's very easy that they just had spray paint that they just did their car and suits with that was hanging behind one of their seats.
Keaton definitely spray painted a huge dick on the side of this car as well.
Sure.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
That's a really good idea.
Okay.
It's a funny bit to him. He loves it.
As you enter the tunnel, it's lit by yellow-hued lights on the ceiling that seem to be covered in thick layers of dust that gives the already gross light a nastier tinge of red as you start to drive in. It goes on for a while. There's no turnoffs. It's sort of a twisting thing. It looks like they bored in and then screwed up their math, and so they started to bore in a different direction. There's a few little dead ends that go off for 5 to 50 feet as they realized their mistake and started to drill in a different direction. All the time, these electric lights, they didn't drill the cords into the rock wall, so they're just hanging in these loops. There's even a few times where the fasteners that they attach them to the roof with have come loose, and these black cables, sometimes with exposed wires, are hanging almost to the ground, and you have to bob and weave between them to keep up a reasonable pace as you move through this dilapidated corridor. Finally, as you reach the other side, you come out into Mad Dog's compound in Ghost Town. It seems that they've taken their own separate cavern off from Ghost Town itself. You can see on the far side of this thing, about 600 feet away from you, large metal fences just welded together with scrap metal that's all oxidized to hell, and large gates that are manned by people. But I don't think that's the first thing that pulls your eye, because this entire cavern is an open area that gives you the vibe of a quarry, but it's a lot closer closer together. So it's more like a straight drop down, but it's a corkscrew spiraling down and down, like getting each progressive layer coming together closer and closer until at the very bottom layer, there's a whole compound just on the bottom layer. Every single spiral has the living quarters of gang members, rusted crates and equipment, prefabricated metal shelters that have been repaired a dozen times, making each home its own private ode to the ship of Theseus. And then rising from the center of this inverted corkscrew, this empty corkscrew, right? Almost like something like you'd pour metal into to make the mold of a giant screw. Rising from the center of that is a pillar of red clay that's eroded away. And then at the top, there's a gray granite hoodoo capping it that's littered in dozens of metal rusted cranes that are lifting equipment and goods from the outer rim over the edge and down into the crack below to be used in production on lower levels, and on their way back up, taking the newly produced vices of the wayward to be sent to windswept lands. So this massive pillar in the center made of clay has all eroded away, but then the hard granite on top is left, so it's like a capstone on top.
Now, the hand motions that you're doing make it look a lot like a giant penis.
Yeah, well,
Like
that's
a giant penis.
That's a line that Keaton could draw if he wanted
Interesting.
to.
Very interesting.
He probably would. He probably would.
he's
He is thinking about dicks
that.
a lot.
Yeah.
He's drawing dicks.
Yeah.
He's got dicks on the
he draws
brain.
dicks, he
Everywhere.
draws boobs, he draws all kinds of stuff on stuff.
As you come out, there's sort of a staging area, it seems like a lot of vehicles are placed around here. Maybe there's a couple hangar-shaped buildings that are set up as machine shops, and welders are going away at shit in there. The white spray paint aesthetic is everywhere, but mostly on the top levels. As it goes down, it seems to get more and more serious, if that makes sense. Like the people more invested in running this operation as a business instead of some school ground bully shit. Those people are dedicated to the lower levels.
How far down does it go? What's the scale of this thing?
I think the entire like corkscrew road spiraling down is probably about a mile total, if that makes sense,
Okay.
if you were to drive it. How many feet down? I can't do that math
So
right
it's
now.
just like a gigantic parking garage. It's a mile tall.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's vehicles parked on every level. There's little buildings in each level. Looks like people live here in addition to everything they produce. It's much colder in here. It's about 110 degrees Fahrenheit, and a lot of people are walking around without suits. A lot of them are shirtless, but their bottom pants, almost like coveralls, like mechanics pants, are covered in the white spray paint. There are people in suits that are like getting ready to head out, so you wouldn't look too out of place if you kept wearing them, but that's up to you. As you drive in, a guy that is not in any suit starts to wave you down. Most of his skin is covered in like scabs or burns or discolorations. It looks like he's lived a really hard life. Completely bald, kind of heavy set guy, overalls like listed, and he's just like waving you down to get you to stop.
Yeah, I pull over to him.
He leans in through the window, kind of like someone that owns everything. You know how in the Fast and Furious movies, you just fucking lean in all the way over the steering wheel? It's like that. He just leans right up to your face, Keen. Hey, you the new boys coming back?
Yeah, that's
what
right.
of it?
You made it, huh?
Yeah, we made it. A lot of the others didn't.
Yeah, there were some complications.
Oh, yeah, you went out with like idiot, didn't you?
Yeah, you should have fucking seen what they did to that other vehicle. Jesus Christ. They ran it right off of they went right into a fucking dust cloud, right off a fucking embankment.
Did you get a rancher?
No, we didn't get a fucking rancher. There wasn't even a rancher out there. All the goddamn intel was wrong.
What the fuck kind of story is this?
Alex is just shaking his head no. Do you want to jump in on this conversation?
I don't know how I can save it at this point. It's like,
Sure,
yeah, we didn't see anybody. We just fucking drove into a sandstorm and everybody died but us. The bullet holes in the car? Don't worry about it.
Listen, he seems to be buying it, dickhead, okay? If you're not gonna...
Okay, so I guess make a persuasion roll here to see how well this interaction goes.
I've got a -1 to persuasion, Caleb, because I have the hindrance mean. That's a 3.
Well, Mad Dog will want to see you.
That's fine. I wanted to see Mad Dog anyway.
What about the bullet holes?
He kind of looks over.
They were there before. A couple of the boys like to use the cars as target practice.
Roll persuasion as well. I think at -2.
I got a 9. That's with the -2.
Oh, wow. Why didn't they use anything else as target practice?
Do I look like I know those motherfuckers drove themselves off a cliff? They're probably not the smartest
This is
sort.
an A and B conversation, pal.
You been to the surface? Not much up there to shoot. Just sand.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess that's what they get, huh?
That's what they get.
Why are you two boys here anyway? Ain't you got nothing better to do?
Yeah, like we have anything better to do out here.
We want to be part of Mad Dog's gang.
Well, we'll see without the rancher.
Maybe another one will pop up. We're still down to go out and give it a shot.
Well, how about I put in a good word for you, huh?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Fuckos, he says as he walks away from the car. Wait here, Mad Dog will see you soon.
I'm definitely gonna kill that guy on the way out. Like, for sure. Guaranteed.
Well, that worked out a lot better than I thought it would. Taking us right to the top.
Damn right. Right to the source. Reminds me of old times, right? Like you and me were like in a stolen car outside of like, I don't know, like a fucking thing. We gotta sneak into a place and get the shit, you know?
I think as you're saying that, Jethro looks down at his hands. His gloves are off at this point. There's just a small trickle of blood making its way down his wrist towards his palm. You know, you said something back there. You said, you never get used to seeing me use my edict.
Yeah, no, it's a sight to behold.
Murder's murder. The fact that you say that you can't get used to me using my edict implies that maybe you could get used to it by other means.
There's a difference between shooting somebody at like 100 yards and watching a dog maul somebody to death, okay? That's fucking different. What you do is like watching a dog maul somebody to death, all right? What I do is not that, okay? So fucking try to draw as many lines as you want to
You're the one drawing the
this shit.
lines. You're the one separating yourself from the acts of killing. Murder is murder.
I've killed plenty of people, and I'm not hiding from that fact, okay?
That's the problem. Sometimes I feel like you're too comfortable with it. Sometimes I feel like you maybe even enjoy it.
Yeah, me too. Whatever. It is what it is. There's no escaping it. It's what I do. It's what I am. I'm not getting out anytime soon, so gotta find some way to live with it, right? And he reaches over and kind of pats you in the chest a couple of times.
There's always an option. You don't have to work for your dad anymore. You don't gotta do what he says.
Oh, I do. Oh, I do.
It's
When
your
you come
choice.
home, you'll find out why.
You said I was going home.
Oh, you're coming home. What, are you gonna stay out here in the dust? Come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay out here in the dust.
No, that's bullshit. Come on.
Why?
Come on. This sucks out here. Look at this. Look what you're surrounded by. And he gestures out towards, there's some dude like high on some crazy drug, like 20 feet from the car, like smashing his head against something, screaming.
Yeah, it's not a drug, it's just glue.
A day like today is not typical in my day-to-day life.
Yeah, okay. You could be sleeping on a nice bed, not made out of old scraps of cloth. You could be eating good meals. You could be shitting in a toilet, Jethro. You could be duking in a goddamn toilet.
Yeah, all that's overrated.
Oh my God. Keaton kind of laughs to himself a little bit. You know, it's not. It really isn't.
You guys see the figure that must be Mad Dog start to approach your vehicle from starting with about 50 or 60 feet away. Cameron, how do you know immediately that this man is an unstable individual?
I think that there's a moment where he's walking and whoever's walking behind him, he just like stops. And with just this like unnatural twitch, he just like quickly turns around and stares him dead in the face. There's a moment of tension. And then like, almost like Ace Ventura, he like whips around with his body moving faster than his head and just has this menacing grin like he's having the fucking best day of his life, continues to walk towards us.
Yeah, Alex, I think this guy's always kind of in a good mood. What's like a tick he has? What's something he's always doing? Like a gangster taking a bump of coke or something, you know, like some sort of like upper thing he always does to get himself, you know, in his Zen mode, to get himself into his religious state of mind.
Religious state of mind, huh?
That's the name of the episode, baby.
What are some of the drugs they would have?
So we're using snuff as a catch-all for like anything you take up the nose. And then we've also got Nova, which is like a laudanum analog.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's like an opioid. Like,
okay.
but we could come up with another drug right now. They could do weird shit out here noonside.
He's just constantly kind of blowing his nose, rubbing his nose. It's always kind of runny. His nasal passages are just destroyed at this point from whatever he's been sniffing. Like, I don't know. He's always having to do maintenance on his snot.
Snot maintenance.
Snot patrol.
Well, he probably doesn't have the spray paint aesthetic. He's a little bit too cool for that. He's got tight pants on, black canvas, big shiny boots, crimson, not red, like not fucking red boots, but like a deep dark red leather, almost cowboy boots with little silver tips on the end. And then he's probably wearing, is he a trench coat guy? Is he
I imagine it's like a trench coat, and then he's got a shirt underneath that's open like 4 or 5 buttons, like two deep.
Yeah, lots of chest hair for sure. He too has like scabs and scars all over his body. It looks like he must have gotten into some fight where he got cut a dozen times. So like you can see those on his chest, and he's almost opening up those like a badge of pride. He's got a blocky face that manages to also be round, loose, stubble everywhere in places where he missed shaving for the last 2 days. His mustache is like grown in a bit stronger than everything else. And he's got kind of happy looking eyes with thinner eyebrows, and then his hair is just real buzz short, like 1/8 of an inch fresh marine cut, but then he has a receding hairline, so it's like pushing back a little bit. As he approaches, he moves towards that guy sniffing glue near one of the cars, grabs him by his face and pulls it to like look at his face. And you can hear his booming voice even from like 30 feet away as he says, "You gotta stop doing that thing. You gotta stop, kid." And then he just grabs his head and smashes it into the car, just leaving a huge dent in the vehicle and throwing the guy to the ground. He starts laughing kind of maniacally to the 2 people that are following behind him, and they kind of give him a chuckle as he approaches the car. He's rubbing his hands vigorously together like he's ready to make a deal as he approaches the car. So, he said, you 2 came back by yourselves, huh? Mission didn't go too well with the area, huh?
Yes, sir.
Don't yes sir me, it's Mad Dog. Didn't I tell you that last time?
I never met before.
Well, I sent you out. I met some of you.
Nah.
Did I meet you?
Yeah, you met me.
Let me see your face.
Keaton, just without hesitation, reaches up to the mask and starts to mess with it, and then pulls it off. And as he does, that headband that he normally has tied around his forehead, he's kind of maneuvered it so it drifts over one of his eyes. So he's kind of wearing it like an eye patch in a way.
Oh, cool.
And he's covered in dust. Like his face and shit, he's definitely made sure to get plenty of that red tinged dirt all over his face.
Mad Dog reaches in through the window. He just pushes himself in and like grabs you by your chin with his thumb and his index finger. And then he starts like moving your head around. I don't remember seeing you before. Did we talk?
You didn't talk to me, but I was there.
You got a clean face, kid. I like that face.
Hey, well, somebody's got to try to match your beauty there, MD. And he kind of gives him a grin and a wink with his good eye.
MD. Why has no one not called me MD before? And he like turns back to his 2 guys. You're calling me MD from now on. And then he turns back to the car. Wow, I like that a lot. So, MD, huh? Pretty boy and mask boy, huh? I heard you didn't get a rancher.
That's right.
There wasn't anybody out there. That cattle, though, it's still limping around out there, so it's only a matter of time. Somebody's going to come to fix that thing.
Yeah. Are you sure? I'm sorry, are you sure you were there before?
Yeah. I mean, there was 8 of us. He sent us out in 2 cars. We were supposed to go out and bring whoever, because, he kind of looks over towards Jethro and kind of gives like a well shit kind of glance. We got to get a product.
Okay. See, so you want to be a part of the operation, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, this doesn't look too good for you. You came back without a rancher, and you lost a lot of people.
Well, we're the only ones that survived, weren't we? Went into the heart of the storm and came out unscathed.
Interesting. Yeah.
My boy, he's got a voice for drama, though, doesn't he? We're the only ones that came out unscathed. This fucking guy.
I'm sorry. Is he a comedian? And he points towards Keaton while looking at Jethro.
If he was a good comedian, he wouldn't be here, would he?
No, he wouldn't be. Why don't you leave the jokes to MD and the other funny people, huh? Pretty boy.
Keaton kind of takes the hit, nods.
Okay.
Well, tell you what, we had a few complications. A couple people lost their skulls, or at least the front of them. So I need some new boys downstairs if you're the people I talked to before.
Would we know the name of the leader that was with them? The one wild card?
Oh, shit.
Could we have searched his gear for some sort of identification, or is that not even a thing?
It wouldn't be a thing. He wouldn't have any sort of identification. Unless you want to spend a Benny.
I think it's worth a Benny. It would add a lot of credibility to our story, so I think I'll spend a Benny on that for sure.
Oh, all of my plans ruined. Yeah, you know his name. Probably another nickname. Pivot.
Pivot. Okay. All right. What was the last thing Mad Dog said?
Are you sure you're the two I talked to?
I've only talked to Pivot.
And Pivot's dead now.
Yeah, his driver is all snuffed up riding in the storm.
Was he that dumb kid? A dumb kid with the dumb face?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. I remember him. Okay, all right. Well, you got a seat in there? I'm just going to jump in with you.
Hop in, MD.
Is there a back door to their doom buggy?
There's got to be.
Is it a 4-door?
I think there was.
They got 8 people out there, so.
He jumps in. Maybe it's like not a proper door. He has to like slide in. You like roll down a window and he has to jump in, convertible style. One of his buddies gets in with him and then someone else like tries to get in and Mad Dog just reaches through the window and punches that dude in the face as he falls to the ground. And then he starts like patting on Keaton's shoulders as he goes, drive.
Yeah, Keaton hits it. I think he is purposely driving like reckless and fast down this encampment. He gets the idea that MD is the type of dude who would get a kick out of that.
I love meeting new people with new faces because every single time, all of you haven't heard a single joke I could tell.
Never been down this far before, Mad Dog.
Yeah, this is where all the good shit's at.
Yeah.
Oh, you see that right there?
And he points to like one of the buildings as you fly past at one of these metal pop-ups.
Oh, baby, you could get some good head there if you want to. We brought in this, I won't even tell you about it, but just know. Just know, okay?
You don't say.
Bring cash, though. Nothing's for free in Ghost Town.
Nah, I wouldn't have it any other way.
As you drive down, Mad Dog starts to like narrate everything as you go. He's telling you about, okay, this is where we produce some snuff. This is where we're salvaging cars and putting them together. They have a whole operation where they steal the solar cattle and then scrap them and then rebuild them and resell them to ranchers at a quite reduced rate. And as you get deeper and deeper, he seems to get more and more excited.
Right here at the base is our newest operation that, oh boy, do we need hands for, because this shit is gonna blow the lid off anything Ghost Town has. Nobody else is doing what we're doing. No one else is doing what Mad Dog is doing. You understand me?
I think I do.
Hell yeah, that's why we want it in.
Yeah, we want to see this.
He rubs his nose a little bit.
You know what, the Crows? You know that fucking rich family?
Yeah, from the Terminator zone?
Yeah. You know how they got those fucking guns, those goddamn edicts?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can live forever now if you pay enough money. You know that shit?
Yeah, costs like 1 million chips.
Oh, not anymore, baby. Not anymore, because we're doing it now on our own soil. Better than the shit that they have, and I want you two boys to be involved in that operation. Maybe security. Keep the eggheads in line, because those fuckers don't think I'm very funny down there. They're talking all this jargon, all this bullshit. They're talking, oh, we need this mineral, we need this gas. Why can't they just make the fucking guns? If the Crows could do it, why can't we, right? Why can't we? So I want you to meet this engineer for me. His name is Owen. He's got the mind of a diamond and the ass of an angel. You're gonna love this guy.
How does any of this work anyways? What do you need the ranchers for?
Oh. Well, this is a little secret the Crows have. I guess some people know about it. Some idiot said he knew about it. I think he might have been a fucking liar, but you never know with these goddamn creeps trying to get in with me. Everyone wants to be friends with me. I don't understand it. But what the Crows have been doing is you gotta do something they call branding, is what Owen's been saying. With the first time you fire an edict, it just blasts through someone's brain. You gotta hit him somewhere. He says it doesn't matter, but I think it's important we hit him right in the noggin, right where all that shit is up in their brain, right where everything they're thinking about is. You shoot them and their soul gets burned up like a goddamn tire fire until poof, it makes whatever fucking afterlife the engineers have tried to figure out. So far, we've been able to make is kind of shitty ones. I'm looking for something that I can go relax. A few dozen people on the beach, naked in beautiful sunlight. Imagine it. The beach is coming in, birds overhead like Earth sea bats or something, you know, some shit like that. And you just gotta sit there on the beach, drinking margaritas. Oh God, when I wanted to go into something like that. And if you boys play your cards right, when the time comes, maybe you'll be able to go into an edict too, live out the life with a couple of hot babes.
That's a fucking good deal. I tell you what, you promised me that, I'll follow you into the hell version of that. I don't give a shit. You're gonna give me an afterlife like that? I'll die for you.
That's what I'm talking about. Ghost Town folk don't have the loyalty we're about to create. Why would you work for some scabhead when instead you can work for a literal fucking god?
Yeah, that's what Pivot said. You're not like the others. It's pretty wild, though. You need a human soul to create a weapon like that?
Ah, fucking soul schmoll. Who fucking... Man, you just gotta kill a person. Maybe that's all bullshit. I don't know. But if we gotta kill ranches while we're doing it, why not?
If it works, it works.
If it works, it works. I don't know. If you want to understand this shit, you're gonna have to talk to Owen, because I don't understand any of this fucking shit.
Yeah, it never was one for science.
Me either. Fucking, schools. I don't know. There's schools out here. That's what I was thinking about. There's schools.
Pull into the parking spot.
Wait. There's schools out here. I never went to school. Did you guys go to school like they got in the Terminus? Does that exist out here?
No, I didn't go to any fucking school.
There's a school in Junktown. Not much of one, though.
Oh, you're from Junktown, huh?
Yeah.
You know Helena?
I've seen her around.
Roll persuasion for me, Alex. Do we have deception in this system?
We do.
Roll deception for me,
Oh,
Alex.
no, we don't. We just have fucking
persuasion and deception.
Yeah, I forgot.
Roll persuasion for me, Alex. Too many systems.
Hey, that's not bad. That's a 4 that blew up. What do you think of that? That's a 7.
Okay. Listen, at some point, we gotta go after Junktown. Does she have any sort of defenses there? I've been thinking we could expand. We could move over there and just fucking... You know, why she gotta be the one doing that? Why don't we move into that whole operation?
He's just playing with his nose. He's just rubbing his nose back and forth. You see a huge drop of snot like come out on his finger as he licks it off.
I think it would attract a lot of attention from Terminus.
I don't give a shit. We're about to be fucking... Actually, that's a good point.
From the sounds of things, I think you got a good thing going here.
Yeah, we do. Okay. All right, funny man, pull up here.
Yeah, Keaton pulls up.
Alex, how is the Edict creation facility different from the outside? I think from everything else in this compound. I think the engineer, Owen, had some sort of hand in its construction, and it has to be airtight in several parts of it as well.
Oh, it's completely different, I think. Like, everything else is like fucking spray painted dirt walls. You got a clay pillar, you said, or some shit?
Yeah.
Granite top. This is all like stainless steel, hospital sterilization, bright lights. It looks like the bay on a spaceship or something like that, you know?
Mad Dog jumps out quickly out of the back window. He scrambles out and then like almost falls, gets like one of his legs stuck in the door, and then does a few hops on one leg, and then moves up to rub his nose with his middle finger while looking at Pretty Boy as he exits the car.
Yeah, Keaton takes a step out, closes the door a little loudly, takes some of that dust off of himself, and starts looking around.
Mad Dog gets this real serious look in his eye. Where are you, Alex?
I probably just stepped out of the passenger side and just standing next to the door looking around.
Mad Dog's eyes scrunch a little bit together, and you see his jaw set. A vein pops out of his forehead along with one on his chin. He strides very confidently towards Keaton and then grabs you by your shirt right at the base of your neck. And then if you don't stop him, he's going to slam you against the car.
Yeah, I think Keaton knows better than to try to stop him at this point. So he takes the hit, and I think we get a shot kind of from the perspective of the car, like the camera's sitting on the hood of the car.
Oh yeah.
And he takes the hit, and he just hesitates for a second, and you can see that like split his lip, and he like spits the blood onto the car, and you can just see in his eyes just murderous intent. And then he takes a second, and it fades away as I'm sure Mad Dog pulls him back up.
Well, he keeps you there for a second as we get a real close-up shot of Mad Dog's face, almost uncomfortably close to him. You can see a bit of snot starting to like roll down over his shitty mustache. His whole face is just like searching you for answers. His eyes are darting back and forth between yours manically as he says,
"Are you fucking lying to me?"
I ain't lying to you about shit, Mad Dog. and he spits again. I think he stands up, and some of that rage kind of comes out against his will. He kind of like throws his arm off, and he points towards the building, and he says, "You got something that looks like that out here? I want in on that. Look at how fucking pretty this shit is. I want in on that. You can give me that." And then he spits again.
Relax, guy. I'm just joking with you.
Jethro's just been watching this whole thing, just anticipating the motion. It's a simple motion of just reaching up and grabbing the handle of his weapon. But he keeps going over in his head, anticipating the moment where he might have to draw it like a drag racer waiting for that green light. I think Jethro was just watching this whole thing. It was a very tense moment for him. And he's just picturing in his mind over and over again, just ready to reach up and grab the handle of his weapon at any time.
Mad Dog waves both of you towards the entrance to this engineered structure. We come up to this thing that has like a little keypad on it, like real sci-fi Star Wars looking door. But even though it's new, it's already kind of got dust everywhere. And it looks like somebody ran into it with something, so there's a large dent in the bottom of the door. He leans towards the keypad and then like covers it with one hand while like looking back towards you guys to like try to get you to look away. And then whether you do or not, he like leans in and then puts some things into the keypad, and then it opens up into the first chamber. You enter into like an airlock area, something you see all the time. The door shuts behind you, and Mad Dog puts out his arms like at his side, like that fucking it's that real famous statue of Jesus, you know?
Yeah.
As like mist hits you guys and everything becomes a lot cooler. You immediately feel the air temperature start to go down like dozens of degrees until this mist stops and another door opens you in to the facility itself.
As we walk through that first door, Keaton makes a point to reach over with his left hand and tap that kind of mobile computer he's got on his wrist. Not on the keypad, but close to the keypad. And he's going to try to see if he can get this code real quick.
It's decent security. I would say make a computer's roll at -2.
Nah, I didn't get it.
I mean, that's fair. I think you could, if you had more time, come back and try to hardwire yourself into it. But just going over it, it seems like if they have any wireless system, it's pretty well tapped down or encrypted.
Gotcha.
You move forward into the facility. It's like walking into a tour of a museum. It's like those sections of academia where there's open windows everywhere to let you see the process of what's going on. It's like being in a brewery, you know, like you walk to the bathroom and you walk past 6 windows that all look into this industrial shit that's like, oh, I shouldn't be looking at this. What the hell?
Right.
They stretch on for a long time. Looks pretty big. One room has these large, man, how to describe them? Almost hexagonal machines coming up from the ground on little pedestals. On the bottom, it looks almost like a rocket engine, you know, like all those little tubes and wires and pipes leading up to this chamber on the top that's like a big self-contained, fabricated, like beautiful polished steel container that's closed. And each of them have little yellow ladders that you can climb up to the top. And there's probably about 12 of these machines set up in one room on your left. A few people are walking around. They're all wearing like those heat proximity suits, like these silver, look like emergency blankets. It looks like they're wearing soft tinfoil with clear face masks that have like a gas mask over their mouth that's running in a tube to their back, walking around doing various things. And then the whole room is tinged with purple. It looks a little bit like darker. It's like draw distance in a video game. You know how in the old games like Silent Hill, they just go into gray at some distance?
Yeah, the render distance, yeah.
And then they just hit it with fog. It's like that, but with purple. Some sort of gas in the air as Mad Dog walks through.
All this just to make one gun?
Oh, yeah. We got to bring in that key from Despoblado all the way over here. We got connections. And then we got to fucking refine it in these goddamn things. I don't understand how it works. They spin it around. It's like, goddamn, one of those things called centrifuges, some shit like that, spectrometer. I don't know what the fuck that shit is. But all that's going in there, they're spinning around something about heavier, what's that fucking word? Pretty boy, what's that fucking word?
Elements?
Yeah, but like a fucking
atoms, isopods,
isotopes.
Isotope. See, pretty boy, you got off your smart game.
That's why I drive, sir.
Oh, I like that. He's respectful, you know that? Anyway, so
Keaton smiles over at Jethro.
yeah, it's fucking isotopes. They spin them around. They get the good isotopes, and then all that air in there, it's airtight. You see this? He knocks on the fucking glass window. He knocks on the glass window. This shit here, there's no air in there. I'm not sure there's any oxygen in there. I don't fucking understand it. Maybe a small amount, but whatever it is, they're pumping. We have to get a whole fucking type of gas in there. You have to fucking talk to Owen. I don't give a shit. Talk to Owen. But over here, this is where the real shit works. And yes, all for a gun. But my friend, you can fucking live forever. Why would I not want that? Right?
Hey, that's what I want.
Do you want that, kid?
Oh, yeah.
Smart boy?
That's what I want.
You stay close to Mad Dog. You understand me? I'll treat you like a goddamn child prince king, okay? Okay?
Okay, yeah. Sounds good.
Fucking hell, speak up when I talk to you, huh? Okay, let's go talk to Owen.
Mad Dog takes you to the actual production facility where they take all this stuff they're refining in these machines and turn it into circuits for quantum computers that run the core, the artificial neural net that resides within Edicts. It's a collection of CNC-looking machines in another clean room that has that same purple-tinged air. The difference in this room is there's only one figure in there. He's in that suit, but no one else is in here, and it's a huge room. It's like 100 feet by 100 feet. It's got those CNC machines encased in glass. It's got lathe-looking machines, saws for cutting metal. It has a little chamber set up that Keaton's seen shit like this before. I imagine Jethro has too, but Keaton has seen a lot of the ghost gun manufacturing. You know, he doesn't necessarily, he has a layman's understanding of how it works, but he's seen all these things before.
All right.
What is the chair that the crows use for the branding process?
Oh man, it's a combination between like hyper modernized and very traditional comfort, like high end comfort.
Yeah.
So it's like if you took your great grandma's lounging chair, the ones that are wood on the outside with that nice padding, and you replaced all of the wood with some odd sci-fi metal, almost like a Damascus steel, you know? And then the padding is just like the most comfortable thing you've ever sat on.
Great. Well, the chair in here is a rusted metal camp chair that has blood all over it, blood on the floor that it seems like they've tried to clean up at one point. So it's this weird contrast of this beautiful clean room, and then in one corner has like shower heads coming down and hoses that they use to put this off. It's like somebody put a high school shower that hadn't been renovated in 50 years in the corner of a laboratory.
It's like you took a hospital and then you took like a 5-foot square out of a Saw murder scene and put it in the corner.
We don't want to sit there.
Oh, no, you don't. When you get a rancher, though, that's where they're going, over there in that corner. That's what we use. I like to watch them fucking squirm, man. It's something to know that their fucking souls are gonna get burned up. Their fucking minds, whatever they have. There's no shot that they're even going somewhere else if they're fucking stupid enough to believe that.
Yeah, and you get to take that from them. That's pretty fucking metal.
Then you turn them into a gun, something you can hold in your hand, something you can wield.
Oh, yeah. This shit right here.
He pulls out this metal abomination from a holster on his side. It's got the looks of a desert eagle if you took the slider for curved edges up by 100%. You know how those guns have those little flares at the end of the hammer and at the thing at the front of the barrel? All of those are exaggerated in sort of a ray gun-like configuration. It's all gold, or at least a metal that was anodized in gold on some sort of steel base. And then he's got, oh man, Alex, what do you think he has as the, what's the handle look like? You know, the two plates, the grip.
I mean, if it's the gold gun, it's probably got to be something pretty elaborate. Man, what would be a substance that's hard to get? Maybe something illegal too.
Oh.
Just to like flex.
I mean, you could, I think anything from Earth. Yeah.
I think it's human bone.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I think it's human bone from the person that made the gun.
Right. Yeah. Holy shit. He points that out to you as he pulls out the gun.
I'm literally walking around with their fucking soul inside of their fucking bone. Look at this. I took it. This is a fucking, what's it called? A pelvis fucking, sex bone, whatever it's called.
I just drive.
That's an edict right there.
It's an edict. This shit, Owen said it's basically perfect. I'm not sure the fucking crows could distinguish this from their shit.
I've heard stories they can do some crazy shit with those. What's yours do?
Oh, you want to know that?
Can you fire it off?
He looks around.
Is there anybody else, like describe our direct surroundings, and is there anyone else around us right
He's
now?
probably got an entourage, right?
I think there is one guy that's been hanging along with you. The one guy that Mad Dog, Mad Dog definitely had an entourage at the top of the corkscrew, and he just kind of like left them all behind on a whim. So there's only this one guy with you who's a real big dude. He kind of standing there with his mouth open the whole time. Maybe even he's just holding, this is ridiculous to not have described it so far, but he's just casually holding a shotgun in his hands. He's just casually holding it, kind of picking his teeth every once in a while, kind of a slouched figure, big belt buckle on, big gold belt buckle on.
You want to see what it does? You're asking me what it does? You want to see?
He looks Jethro in the eyes and then just takes the barrel of the gun and jams it into your forehead, kind of pushing you back a little bit. And he goes,
I'll show you, kid, right now.
Is this a good point to make like a spirit check or something? Or
oh, yeah, I'd love you to do that.
Because I would really like my character just to keep like, straight face, play it cool, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tell you what, I'll give you a Benny for calling the check and then make a spirit roll, probably at -2, because
Oh, he's making it harder.
I think you're genuinely...
He's unhinged.
Yeah, he could do this right now.
Thank you, dice.
Wow, that's a 6.
You guys are the best.
A 6.
8. Blew it up. So I don't think there's even a blink of the eye. He just stares him right in the eyes.
You're a stone cold fucking killer, you know that? He's not even flinching. Funny boy, look at this.
Hey, that's why I drive.
You see a lot of shit when you grow up in Junktown.
Keaton kind of reaches back behind him while this is happening, and we see that on the back of his shade suit, he's got what looks like a black metal box almost. Maybe it's more cylindrical than that, but it's about, I don't know, a foot long almost, and like 6 to 7 inches deep. And he kind of touches it twice, and almost this odd moment, you can see all of the dust on this box just fall away. Like there was some type of like tremor on the inside of the box, something completely silent that just shakes all of the dust free.
There's a close-up shot of the side of Mad Dog's edict as a small drop of condensation or water forms underneath the barrel, slides along all the way to the edge, and then drops in slow motion through the air in this clean, buffed, steel polished hallway, falling down to the grated floors where it splashes in this super tight macro shot. And then the room you're in rumbles a little bit, like a small tremor, like a 0.2 on an earthquake scale. And after a moment, the door behind Jethro slides open as the airlock cycles, and a figure comes out as they hastily take off their helmet. Mad Dog, please don't shoot in here. If a bullet goes through any piece of acrylic or plastic... And Mad Dog laughs and then points the gun at the new figure that's entered the room. Cameron, Keaton, you recognize this fella. You've seen him around a few times at some social functions. A fella by the name of Owen Hansen, the son of a close professional friend of your father's. Like, you don't know him very well at all. He's probably gonna recognize you. You're not sure.
They invited us over for dinner, and I had to maintain polite conversation with this fucking asshole for an hour and a half.
Yeah, something like that for sure. As he gets a gun pointed at his face, he also looks over to Keaton. A weird look crosses over his face before Mad Dog pushes the gun into his forehead and pushes him all the way back to the metal wall behind him.
You're lucky, kid. I need a fucking engineer on this project. You are goddamn lucky, because I'll do whatever I want in my own fucking house. Isn't that right, science boy?
Who's talking to me?
Yeah.
I'm Science Boy?
You're Science Boy.
I think you've made that abundantly clear.
Good. Good.
He pulls his gun back and does a few gunslinger flourishes around his finger before sliding it back into his holster on his hip and clapping his hands together.
Owen, I want you to meet the boys. We got, what's your fucking name, kid?
Kent.
My name's Jethro.
Jethro, Kent, Owen, Kent, Jethro. They're gonna fucking watch out for security. We got fucking new people in here all the time. I'm putting them straight to the top.
Owen looks at Keaton and then looks to Mad Dog. I don't think it's a good idea to put new people in charge of security down here.
Keaton takes a step forward and says, I didn't realize that you were in charge.
Do I know you from somewhere?
No, but you're about to know me real good. Me and Mad Dog, well, I'm hoping to get in good with MD over here. You'll see me around.
My new nickname is MD, Owen. Call me MD.
Like a medical doctor?
No, like fucking Mad Dog, you idiot.
Mad Dog, MD, can I talk to you for a second? He looks at you two and then just does the shoo away motion with his hands towards the both of you.
Yeah.
Jethro just nods.
Keaton starts taking a few steps away, and as he does, he reaches up and he pulls that bandana, that headband off of his eye and winks over at Owen.
He grimaces, and then he keeps making eyes at you, suspicious eyes at you, as he talks to Mad Dog, like very emphatically in the corner, moving his hands around a lot, move his head around a lot, like not making eye contact with Mad Dog, and they're doing that like right in front of the airlock into the clean room where the guns are made. As you two step away, the guy with the shotgun is standing about 10 feet away from you, and he's just staring at you with kind of half-closed eyes, kind of over his nose with his mouth open a little bit.
I mean, we're in it now.
You suppose this glass is bulletproof?
Oh, absolutely not. But that's not the piece that we need to destroy. We're after the software. You can replace all this shit, but some high quality computer work that goes into making an edict. I need this place burned to the ground.
Have we seen the Crow's operations before?
Yeah, you've probably seen it before.
Do these machines look like exactly the same?
No, they definitely look shittier. They look larger than the ones the Crows have, but there's less of them. And then one thing that's strange is the purple gas, which, do you guys want to make intelligence rolls for me?
Sure. It's a 14.
I got a 10.
Holy shit, guys. Okay. You know that natrium, it's harvested in the El Despoblado and then brought back all over the planet, exported off it. And then the thing you use to make the core of it is refined natrium, which once it's refined into this specific isotope, the isotope reacts with oxygen in the air extremely violently. And so back at home, all of the rooms that produce or mess with this refined stuff at all are only filled with noble gases.
Okay.
And so if you fucked with anything in there,
Doesn't react with anything.
right, but if you shot a hole through the window, for example, and it touched oxygen,
Yeah.
boom.
Okay.
I mean, that sounds like a pretty cool idea to me.
But whatever they do back at the Crow family is not as unstable as the iodine gas. And also, it's fucking hot as shit in there. I think you feel that when the airlock opens. To be a gas, that shit has to be at like 237 degrees Fahrenheit
Jesus Christ.
to remain a gas.
Future Caleb here. That is 114 degrees Celsius, roughly.
So it's a fucking sauna in there. The heat shields are literally necessary, the heat suits they have.
I don't think
Right.
Owen would allow anything aside from bulletproof glass then, right?
Right. Yeah,
That's
probably
gotta
not.
be bulletproof.
What else do you guys want to know about the construction process? Or you know a lot about it. You just roll very well.
Overall, I just want to, like, how efficient is it as compared to the Crows? You know, is this like they barely know how to do it and they're fucking scraping by, taking like 3 months to make one? Or is this like they can pump them out?
I would say with a 14, yeah, it's going to take them a while. You imagine, yeah, at least 2 months per edict with the amount of refiners they have. I read this book on the creation of atom bombs, and they had to fucking fill these buildings that were 3 times the size of a football field to separate the heavier isotopes in uranium from everything else. And they had to have that whole fucking room pumping nonstop every day for 6 months to get the shit required to build one shitty bomb.
Gotcha.
So it's sort of that scale of a
Right.
So a lot
process.
of this is just going into the material, making the materials for it.
Yeah, they gotta fucking refine the natrium, and that's the hardest part of it.
Gotcha.
Well, I guess it's not the hardest part of it. All of it's fucking hard.
It's the most cost restrictive part of it.
Yeah. You know, I imagine patents in this world and such are in such a way that having the information and the schematics on how to build the machines to build edicts is proprietary, and it's crazy that they could do that as
Right.
well.
This is like 13 levels of illegal.
Yeah, like everyone here could get 2 death sentences, basically on your word with a couple of pictures.
Right.
Okay, let's bring it back to the room. You suppose this glass is bulletproof?
Oh, absolutely not. But that's not the piece that we need to destroy. We're after the software.
The software should be easy enough to get, don't you think?
No, none of this shit should be easy to get.
I think it'd be a hell of a lot harder to get the equipment down here, unless they're somehow building it here. Who would know how to do that, though?
Owen? I don't know why he knows how to do that, but he's obviously the brains behind this shit.
You know him?
Oh, I mean, not well, but yeah.
Who is he?
He works for some chick that my dad works with. Or I guess he's, fucking her son? I don't know.
Sounds
he's
like
family to some fucking bullshit, whatever.
So we gotta make sure we leave here with him.
Oh, yeah. And everything that he knows.
We gotta make sure that nobody else can replicate this.
Good news is they're using iodine in there, so we expose that to oxygen, the whole fucking place goes. All of it. This entire building is gone, wiped off the map.
So now we just gotta figure out how to get Owen and ourselves out and then blow everything else up without any unwanted casualties, huh?
Unwanted casualties? What are you worried about down here?
Us. Owen.
That doesn't feel like unwanted casualties. That feels like expected survival. On top of all that, I absolutely need to get into their systems because they're going to have some of this backed up somewhere and I need to be able to wipe that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to distract MD while I try to get into their computer systems and I don't know, how do we lose fucking fat ass over here?
I'm not so sure he's still all the way there.
Yeah.
I guess we're just kind of whispering this, like looking around the room. Yeah. How much time do you need?
3 minutes.
That should be doable.
Well, we gotta get Owen out. We gotta get all this fucking shit.
We gotta see what the fuck he's talking to him about.
Bet you what? I bet you if we start a tour, he'll take us right to something I can hardwire into. He's gonna recognize me, by the way. He fucking knows who I am for sure. So be ready for this to pop off at any time.
It's gonna be a walk in the park.
Yes, sir, it is.
Thank you for listening to Sounds Like Crow's Terminus. If you liked what we do here, please make sure to like and review. That's the best way to help support this show for free. And if you're feeling a bit generous with coin, you can join our Patreon for access to our Discord and be in the ranks of folks such as Greg Gray, Ariel Weiss, Jared, Kirby, and Jeremy Dunlap, along with Prime, David Hayes, Ethan Saperstein, and Wade Bernier. Casted this week is myself, Caleb Sunstead, who you can find on Twitter at MarshallCaleb, Alex Horrell, who played Jethro Crow, who you can find on Twitter at Alex Horrell, Cameron Reed, who portrayed Keaton Crow, who you can find at CJReed211 on Twitter. Music was by William Ecker or myself, who you can find at musicdirecker.bandcamp.com. Special thanks to my good friend Cameron Reed for doing a bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff. And if you follow us on Twitter at Sounds of Crows, he's the one you'll most likely be talking to. Finally, thank you to Renee Wanger for providing her trombone talent. Our executive producer is Alexandria Majan at Alexandria Majan on Twitter. Thanks for sticking around for the credits, folks. See you next time.